देखा बहुत, अब थोड़ा घर भी देख लें। अपनों के दिलों को टटोलने का एक नया एडवेंचर शुरू करें। थोड़ा थम जाएं, ठहर जाएं, दिलों को मिलाएं, अपनों के करीब आएं, कहानियां सुने और कहानियां सुनाएं। कुछ ऐसे ही ख्यालात थे सिंदबाद के 4th वॉयज के बाद। जी, वही 4th वॉयज की कहानी जो सुनी थी आपने अर्चना की ज़बानी। 4th वॉयज के बाद वापस आके पता नहीं सिंदबाद को क्या हुआ। कभी कभी आधी रात को नींद से चिल्ला के उठ पड़ता, कभी कभी बातें करते करते चुप हो जाता, पसीना पसीना हो जाता। उसको ऐसे लगता जैसे कोई उसको जिंदा दफना रहा हो, कोई उसे सफोकेट कर रहा हो। समझ नहीं आता वो क्या करे। उस समय उसका साथ दिया उसके रिश्तेदारों ने, उसके घर वालों ने, उसके दोस्तों ने। वो उसके पास बैठते, उसको पानी देते, कभी कभी गीले कपड़े से उसका मुख पोंछते, उसकी बातें सुनते। सिंदबाद एक ही कहानी, खुद के जिंदा दफनाए जाने की कहानी बार बार सुनाता और वो चुपचाप सुनते रहते, मजाक ना उड़ाते। कहते हैं स्टोरीज हील, and sharing his story, his experience again and again somehow healed Sindbad. The nightmares vanished, the panic stopped, and slowly the bad memories faded away. It took around 1 year, but they did become a thing of past. And now, new longings started moving inside his heart. उसके दिल में एक नई उमंग, एक नई तरंग फिर जाग उठी। उसको वो खींच के ले गए घर के बाहर। And he went to the port. He looked at the ships. And then he essayed them. He found one of them which was the best for his next adventure. He bought it, hired a captain and a crew. He invited merchants of different countries to join him on his 5th voyage. And here starts the story of his 5th voyage. After returning from his 4th voyage, Sindbad had taken a decision that he would never ever go for another adventure. He had even tied a knot to remind him never ever to set sail again. But slowly over the year, the knots loosened and the memories faded. The sea beckoned him, and there he was, again on his 5th voyage. As they sailed into the sea, the other merchants started talking to each other, making new friends, striking friendships, doing arm wrestling, enjoying the bonhomie, cheer, music and dance on the ship. But Sindbad, he stood alone. He stood at the deck, taking in all the sights, all the smells of the salty air and the sounds which he could hear of the waves. He was thrilled and his heart was singing a song. पंछी बनूड़ता फिरूं मस्त गगन में, आज मैं आजाद हूँ दुनिया के चमन में। हिंगोरी हिंगोरी हिंगो हिंगो हिंगोरी, पंछी बनूड़ता फिरूं मस्त गगन में. His heart kept singing and singing, and soon they reached one island. The ship stopped there. Many merchants stepped out to explore the island. So did Sindbad, though he stayed away from others and he just walked on the seashore. The merchants went ahead, looked at different things and found different types of rocks. And then their eyes fell on one, which was huge, white rock. Is it a rock? Is it a stone? What is this? They went close to it and they felt it. It was so smooth. They put their cheeks and felt the cold, nice rock. And then one of them knocked at it. Tuck, tuck. And from inside, from that tuck, tuck from outside, came a sound from inside. They got scared. They stepped aside. What was it? Was it a spirit trapped inside? Or was it a ghost? What was there inside? And the tuck, 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 tuck continued till came out beak of a young one. A bird, a baby giant bird, or a giant baby bird, which looked out. One of the merchants, as if seized by some madness, started breaking the eggshell. And all the others joined like monkeys, trying to break the eggshell and making the baby come free. Sindbad heard the noise and he reached there, and as soon as he reached, the noise had stopped. And there stood the giant baby bird, a newly born baby of rock, the rock bird. Sindbad looked at it in marvel. It was so beautiful. A new creation, a new life. It was a good omen for this adventure. And as Sindbad was looking, one of the merchants cried, "Tandoori chicken!" "What?" Sindbad said. "Are they going to kill it?" He went there and he started yelling, "No, no, don't kill this bird. It is a young one. It is just born. Its parents will come to look for it. Don't kill it." But the merchants, driven by madness and hunger, did not even listen. They hacked the bird to pieces and someone started a tandoor. They started roasting the pieces of the chicken. And Sindbad stood there, sorrowful. What had they done? Did they even know? The smell of the cooking food wafted through the air and reached the ship. The captain smelt it too, and he came out. "What is cooking?" And he saw people roasting something on the seashore. He went there, and as he approached, he saw Sindbad looking so sorrowful, and he understood something terrible had happened. He looked at the broken big pieces of eggshell, and he saw the sizable portion which was being roasted, and he understood that it was the chick of Rock, the bird. "Are you mad? What have you done? The parents will come and take revenge. Run to the ship now. We need to sail." But the merchants did not listen. They kept eating and making merry till the time a huge shadow loomed on top of their heads, and that scared them. They ran to the ship quickly, and the captain yelled, "Come on, quickly, quickly!" And some of them, the greedy ones, still took a few pieces to eat on their journey. The ship sailed away, and as it did, came two huge birds, two huge big birds. They came to look at their chick. Where is he? Where is it? Can they see it? No. What happened? Frightful cries were heard by the parents of that young chick. And as they realized what had happened to their chick, they looked around. Who was the culprit? And they saw the sailing ship far away. They understood what had happened. They picked up huge boulders in their claws, and off they went, flying, crying frightfully still. and they dropped one of the boulders on the ship, but it fell in the sea. And the other boulder, it fell right in the middle of the deck, and they flew away. That big boulder which landed on the deck killed many, many, many merchants, and it broke the ship into 1,000 pieces. Sindbad fell off the deck too. Luckily, he found a plank. He climbed onto it, lay on it as if his life depended on it, and it did. For hours he floated on that plank in the sea, and finally he reached an island. When he reached that island, he sat there for some time, waiting for more people to come ashore. But no one else did. So Sindbad looked behind him. There were jagged rocks on the seashore. The sun was almost setting. With great difficulty, Sindbad climbed over those steep jagged rocks and went to the other side. And as he reached there, he found a patch of grass. Soft, mossy grass. He just lay down, exhausted, and slept off. Next morning, Sindbad woke up and he looked around. Which place is this? Is it paradise? The sunlight was filtering through the trees. The trees were laden with fruits. There were flowers everywhere. There was a stream nearby flowing. Sindbad took in all the sights and sounds and smells, and he got up. He sat next to the stream, washed his face, his hands, put more water over himself, and then he went and he took some fruits. He ate the fruits. They were delicious. That whole day, he just sat next to the stream. Next day, he did the same thing. But by afternoon, he wanted to explore and see what was more on the island. So he went inside. And as he walked further and deeper, he sighted someone. Who was it? कोई हूरपरी तो नहीं है? बाल दिख रहे हैं दूर से जैसे किसी के बाल हों. नहीं, ये तो कुछ और है. He went closer and closer. Oh! एक बूढ़ा आदमी. It was an old man. यहाँ क्या कर रहा है? कब से? कैसे? क्यों? Sindbad wondered, and he went closer to that old man, and as he went closer, there was a terrible stench which was coming from that old man. Sindbad felt repulsed, but the old man in the meanwhile saw him and called Sindbad closer. Overcoming his repulsion, Sindbad went closer to the old man. An old man motioned that he should carry Sindbad and Sindbad should carry him on the shoulders and take him to the other side of the stream to eat fruits from the trees. Sindbad wanted to help, so of course he carried the old man on his shoulders and he crossed the stream. And as he crossed the stream, he again bent down so that the old man could get off. But what was this? Instead of getting off, the old man actually climbed on his shoulders and held his neck tightly with his legs. Sindbad felt choked. He tried to fight and he tried to move the arms, but he could not. He tried to move the legs and he could not. They only tightened and tightened and tightened till Sindbad felt choked. And he passed out. When he opened his eyes, the old man was still holding him tightly by his legs, and he was poking Sindbad, pulling his hair. Sindbad opened and looked at the old man. What do you want? The old man motioned to him that he wanted to eat fruits. Sindbad got up. He thought he would be able to throw the old man away, and as he tried that, the old man again started choking him, and Sindbad, stop. Oh. Stop. Sindbad stopped fighting. He just took the old man to wherever he wanted, and throughout the day, the old man plucked different types of fruits and kept eating and eating and eating. Sindbad thought that his plight would come to an end by evening, and by night he would be free. But it was not meant to be. The old man would not leave Sindbad. He just clung to him, sitting on his shoulders and legs tightly around his neck. Even as Sindbad lay down to sleep, the man remained like that and would not let go. Sindbad feigned to sleep, thinking that the old man would sleep too, and then he could set free. But the old man was awake throughout the night, tightly holding Sindbad. Next morning was a repeat of day one. Throughout the day, Sindbad had to carry the old man, who plucked trees and ate and ate. And if Sindbad tried to escape, he just tightened the noose of his legs around Sindbad. Many days passed like this. One day, the old man made him take a different turn. And there Sindbad saw grapes, many bunches of grapes, both green and purple. The old man began to eat them, but Sindbad spotted a drying. What? A drying lौकी का खोल. He picked it up. This is a gourd which is drying. What can I do with it? Sindbad quickly took it. He cut open, took out all the flesh from inside. He took some grapes and he squeezed the juice of the grapes inside that gourd. And some more, and some more. This gave him hope that one day he would live to drink this. He took some more and he squeezed. And then amongst the branches, he put that gourd carefully so that the juice would not spill. Over the next few days, Sindbad felt so exhausted carrying the old man every day. In the beginning, the old man was light, but when you carry even a light burden over a long period of time on your shoulders, it begins to weigh you down and it feels very tiring, and the same light weight becomes very heavy. The old man sensed that too, and he knew that Sindbad would not be able to carry him for long. But yet he kept prodding him and making him work like a slave, like a puppet on the string. And then after a few days, the old man again took him back to the same place where the grapes grew. Sindbad quickly saw that gourd in which he had put the grape juice. He took it and he took a sip. It was so refreshing. He took another sip. Sindbad felt very happy. He started to laugh and he took another sip. And he began to dance and laugh in joy. The old man saw this and the effect of whatever Sindbad was drinking on him. So he nudged Sindbad on the head and asked for it. Sindbad gave the gourd to him and the old man took it. to laugh too, and he began to dance just the way Sindbad was dancing. And for a minute, it felt as if Sindbad and the old man just were one in that dance and laughter. And Sindbad, seizing the moment, just threw the old man on the ground. And he ran away. He ran as fast as he could. He threw the gourd. He just ran and ran and ran. He crossed the stream. He went across. He looked back. The old man was still fallen on the ground. And Sindbad ran towards the seashore, trying to save his life. And as he reached and neared the seashore, he saw there were more men. Men, were they like the old man? Sindbad froze. He watched them. They were all plucking fruits. Some of them were eating it too. And then Sindbad's eyes spotted a ship. A ship? Salvation? Sindbad ran towards the first man and he hugged him. He kissed his hands. You see, there was no need for social distancing. So he kissed again. Allah ka shukr hai. अल्लाह का शुक्र है तुम मुझे मिल गए, मुझे बचा लो, मुझे यहाँ से ले चलो, वो बूढ़े आदमी ने मुझे अपनी गिरफ्त में रखा हुआ था. The men made him sit down there. They listened to his story, and the first one who he had hugged said, "That is the old man of the sea. No sailor, no merchant has ever made it alive from there. No one even ventures to go inside. Come with us. We will introduce you to a captain. He's a kind-hearted, warm man. He would take you on board too. Come." And the captain did welcome Sindbad, took him on board. Now, do you think the ship is going to sail back to Baghdad, or would it go somewhere else? Well, it's a long story. But there Sindbad was up for another adventure. The ship went and landed in a prosperous city. One of the merchants who Sindbad had befriended took him home with him. He gave him a place to stay and gave him one big sack. Sindbad looked at his new friend and he said, "A sack? For what?" His friend pointed at a group of men who were collecting, and he said, "Do as they do. Don't say a word. Do as they do. Don't say a word. Just be with them, and you would be safe." Sindbad took the sack and followed whatever his friend had told him. And he went with the men. Soon he learned where they were headed. Towards the coconut grove. Sindbad's eyes followed the slender, long trunks of the coconut trees. Coconuts? But what's that? Bandar? Itne sare bandar, monkeys? How are we going to pluck the coconuts if there are so many monkeys around? And as Sindbad was thinking that, one of his friends picked up a stone and threw it at the monkeys. And Sindbad wanted to say, "Stop!" But he remembered, do as they do. Don't say a word. Just stay with them and you would be safe. Other men too picked up stones and started throwing at the monkeys. And soon Sindbad had to duck because from the other side came one big coconut which almost landed on his head. Sindbad understood what the game was. He picked up the stone too and he threw it at the monkeys, and coconuts came down and he caught one here and one here and one like this and one like this and one like this. And they started filling the coconuts in their sacks. Soon the sacks were filled with coconut and they all went back to the city to sell the coconuts for money. Sindbad's friend bought all the coconuts from Sindbad and told him that he should keep collecting coconuts and selling them till the time he had enough money to go home to Baghdad. And that's exactly what Sindbad did. Over the next few weeks, and 3 months, Sindbad collected money not only to return home, but he also managed to collect a good sizable shipment or merchandise which he carried with him. And the thing was coconuts. On the way back home in a ship which he found was sailing to Baghdad, he sold the coconuts, traded them for pepper. He went diving and he collected rare pearls. And a month it took for the ship to land back in Baghdad. Back in Baghdad, Sindbad sold all his things for a huge sum of money. He donated generously to the poor. And he had enough to lead a luxurious life. Saying so, Sindbad just snapped like this, and his servants came carrying thalis with gold coins. Sindbad made a potle and put 100 gold coins in it, and he gave it to Hindbad and said, "कोई सफर नहीं आसान, अमीर हो या गरीब। कोई सफर नहीं आसान, अमीर हो या गरीब। असली सफर वही है जो ले जाए दिल के करीब। ये लो 100 अशर्फियां, ये लो 100 अशर्फियां, और सुनो, भूल ना जाना, अगली कहानी सुनने कल तुम दोबारा आना। और आप भी आइएगा, क्योंकि कहानियां अभी बाकी हैं मेरे दोस्त।"